team comps. Jath, you've summarized the G2 comp relatively well. What are you seeing from TSM?
Yeah, well, I do like the G2 team composition more right now, but for TSM, I feel like this is something where they almost have to be lane dominant. You have the Jarvan and the Galio, which went ahead is a nearly unstoppable initiation because you Jarvan ult and then Galio ult in there while people are stuck in the Cataclysm. But if you don't have enough damage, you're basically going to be initiating to your own demise. So I think it's very important for TSM to get an early lead if they're going to run this team composition.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really looking at that mid game from them with Tahm Kench ulti and Galio ulti. Like, you're extremely mobile as a composition to kind of move around and force some of these skirmishes with then Jarvan and Elise as kind of your main engage in that sense. I think just the scaling on the side of G2 with a tank top lane plus, of course, a hyper carry for Sven is something in the late game that's going to be really good for G2 esports. And they kind of tried this at MSI where they said, you know what, TSM, we don't want to talk about 40 minutes. We just want to go to 50 minutes, 60 minutes, and then try and win the game. And it did work, but it was risky. It was very risky. It was a 1-1.
It's a very strong term. Ladies and gentlemen, for the entirety of Rift Rivals, jump onto Twitter and use that hashtag NAWin or hashtag EUWin. Let's see who will draw first blood as the two Spring Split champions take to the Rift for one more time. TSM G2 in 2017 are at 1-1. Somebody gets an advantage today. And even in Berlin, Germany, the North American squad has the crowd support.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for this event, Quickshot, because normally we get these really small tastes of the EU versus NA rivalry, which is so heated. I mean, just at MSI, we got to see EU versus NA twice, 2 games. We're going to have 6 EU versus NA games today, 6 tomorrow, 6 the next day. And this is the right setup for a counter gank if G2 wants it.
First blood is on the cards. Knockup finds nobody, but Sven Skeren is unburrowed. Cocoon lands. First blood is going to be available and picked up by Hornsa. Sven Skeren is not going to die. He sinks the fangs in. Finally,
no fighting.
To expect gets 6 as well. The barrel comes back. The minions are working in his favor. Body slam finds a target. Hornsa's running for his life. Flashes to safety. All of the vision from G2 from that river clear gives them a lot of control down there. And Doublelift, one of the more outspoken NALCS players coming into Rift Rivals. I'll talk about that in a moment.
He has to wait now.
Because all of a sudden, the barrel comes out. That's a good stun into the wall. Cataclysm comes down, but Horns has got no flash. And G2 make that...
Didn't have to burn his flash. That return gank is coming. And with the way they dove through the turret, I think the counter gank could have been quite strong.
I actually feel like we see this quite often from G2, but let's talk about it after, because top lane, 3-man.
Well, Expect's just gonna die. Heroic entrance into the taunt and a Justice Punch to secure the kill. TSM with a strong advantage.
Yeah, so...
Down the list, Team Solomid with a strong early game yet again against G2. Trick's gonna get caught by the Cocoon. Devour's available. Stand behind me gets used, as does the Source. Now Sven Skeren is the target. He jumped in with the repel, gets killed by Sven. Support comes in for Team Solomid. Bjergsen decides not
blindly chase into the dark and scary jungle,
especially
when you're AP Elise.
Yeah, and also when Doublelift is sitting in the lane, bot lane, and the enemy AD carry, he's missing. Where could he be? Oh, he's right there. He's ready to take the fight.
Yeah, this could also be turret.
But look at the supports on the minimap. Team Solomid coming in. Abyssal Voyage is going to deliver Sven Skeren and Biofrost. Sven is the target, but it's Trick and Miffy taking all the damage. Expect is here. Just 2. Here comes Expect. Needs to use the barrel
reset hard.
Gets rid of Doublelift. Hornsa locks Sven inside the Cataclysm as Bjergsen takes him down. That's a double kill for Bjergsen. Cocoon on the back end secures another kill for TSM.
We talked about how Tahm Kench and Galio together, with the mobility they have, they can set up some of these plays here where G2 will maybe not expect it. And after they actually punished Sven Skeren for being too aggressive, they pushed for that one tower. They saw it right in front of them, but Perkz, of course, unable to join. And then suddenly, Tahm Kench ulti into a Galio ulti, and everyone from TSM is in the bottom lane.
Yeah, the timing of that gank was perfect for TSM. Also using the global so well. They've been great at using things like Rise Ultimate and Talia Wall, and this is just another example of that. So Tahm Kench comes in with the Jarvan, then they immediately get the Galio in there. So 3 people essentially teleporting into the middle of the lane. Expect tries to match, but he's too slow, and Perkz also isn't there. So TSM had 5 people there from the beginning, whereas for G2, it was 3, and then slowly 4, and then the 5th, and never is it an even-numbered fight. They end up losing 4 people and the turret. A disaster for G2.
It's one of those moments as a team.
King, and as it stands, the tension continues to build. G2 looking to re-engage. The Unburrow gets 2. There's a body slam as well. Perkz' scatter the weak, not the greatest. and the taunt only catches expect. This is good for G2 Esports. Mithy's the target, has the unbreakable block, some damage, and Sven takes down Hornsa. It's MSI all over again.
Yeah, doesn't this feel rather familiar? TSM has a big lead.
As he is caught to the Unbarrow, the Void Ooze buys a couple seconds of time as the hero's entrance comes down. Trick is the target, 300 HP. Great Cataclysm from Hornsa. Sven with the flash manages to escape. Perks takes down Sven Skerrin. Bjergsen trying to get onto Sven. Mithy's on the front line with the help of Expect, and everybody from TSM is low. Winds of War tagging on Sven, but he's unkillable. That's a double kill for Perks. Looking for more from TSM, and the gold lead matters not.
TSM have not been able to use a Jarvan engaged right into a good Galio ulti that actually hits the back line of G2. This one was used on Trick specifically, so while Sven...
One for G2, so TSM should force here, and G2 has to answer. If they fight, watch to see if Sven gets jumped on.
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
There's the fight.
Broom comes up. Perks is the target. He used the flash earlier. TSM with all the tools available. Easily take down Perks. It's a 4-on-5. TSM still maintain control.
Yes, Sven Skerrin has no flash. They use the majority of their initiation. It's going to be much harder for them to re-engage this next time.
All right, Baron, 6,000 HP. It's not going very low. Doublelift trying his best to get those autos down. 4,000 HP. Knock up onto Bjergsen as he's now thinking about turning. Trick's going in onto the front line. Trick's the target. 2,000 HP. Barrel from Expect splits up TSM, and Mithy's blocking what he can. Sven remains untouched. He's got Bjergsen. The Devour comes out. Now Biofrost is stunned. Needs to pop the Grey Health. Bjergsen running for his life. Crucially for the EU LCS, Baron is into...
Very, very well. I love the fact that they know TSM can't kill Baron quickly, but now they...
Oh, it's happening!
The flash man is the target. Not going to be able to escape this time round, but the knockback is bought time. Sven is taken down by Hornsa and Bjergsen as they double up. Defensive moves from the rest of G2. Knock up under the tower. Perks manages to cleanse until Sven Skerrin gets that venomous bite. Resets from Doublelift. Rocket jump into flash. Trick is the target. Red buff bursting away as he rocket jumps back to safety.
They got the fight just in time. They had a few seconds left before flashes from Perks and Sven would be ready. They instantly engaged with G2 walking up that mid lane. Hornsa and Bjergsen with the synergy this time around. They actually win the fight to get the Baron.
I don't know how it took them so long. It's very simple. You use the Jarvan ult on the Kog'Maw and Galio ults after. You're done. Then you win the... To just sit and take all of the damage. So that's another thing G2 has to fight up against.
Pretty heavily itemized into Sven's damage there with Randuin's Omen, Frozen Heart, and the Gargoyle's Stoneplate. Hornsa's got a Gargoyles of his own and the Thornmail. Cocoon will cost Mithy his life.
There's the Triss damage coming through, finally.
Really easily set up by TSM on the invade. This is not your jungle anymore, G2. TSM have invaded.
And more importantly, open that mid lane as well with the inhib. They're going for another tower. So that's the fight.
Scatter the Weak comes out. I'm looking for Expect's Barrel to split up TSM. There it is. Biofrost is on the front line, but Doublelift remains unkilled. Sven is untouched. Perks has got one. That was a 3 or 4 man stun. Bjergsen's a target of Sven, while the rest of G2 tried to get TSM. This will buy some time as Bjergsen maintains his life for a few seconds longer. Doublelift flashes forward for the kill, but flash economics means if another fight breaks out, he needs to be extra careful.
Yeah, Triss a little more mobile than Kog'Maw, still has the rocket jumps. Trick got a little bit ambitious at the end of that fight. Rek'Sai ulting to chase onto Doublelift while the rest of G2 was dealing with Bjergsen and a re-engage.
What? Hornsa's gonna go down. That flag and drag was just sad.
A few questionable flag and drags.
Quick go back to base so you can buy items. See, he wanted that BF sword so badly.
You can see a little bit of a facepalm on the player cam as well. Hornsa knows with Cataclysm available, this is going to be massive. Interrupted, locks down Sven. Sven decides to flash away as a knock-up comes down. Justice Punch kind of interrupted by Bjergsen. Sven is life-stealing the best that he can. Perks is holding on to that unleashed power while Doublelift kept the Elder Dragon engaged.
They're just going to go for this. They have 2 Drakes right now and they know they got G2 very slow. That was a hard reset, but G2 completely abandoning.
You give it over to TSM after engage coming in from Hornsa from the side right there. That forced 2 flashes once again from the carries on G2 Esports. So that's kind of the fun thing about this game here is the first fight you take, as long as you get flashes, that's almost a win in itself for the next one. And they're actually going straight for Baron.
Yeah, they do not have a control ward. They're sweeping their approach, but they do not see that ward in the back. So G2 knows it's there, but Trick is on the wrong side of the map. This is Baron too.
Yeah, easily secured. Despite Expect having teleports, TSM get Elder Dragon and Baron. as this wave is crashing into the tower. Looking at the minimap though, guys, Haunter trying to set up on the flank. He's got flash available to him and can look for another Cataclysm in the river. It was so impactful. Instead, Haunter's just going to waltz right in. Flag and drag for the engage. Gets it down onto Spurks. And Sven, heroic entrance. This has to be the game. Sven scares a target. How is Sven not dead? The time's down. Sven stays alive. The stun comes down. And finally, Sven and Perks are killed. The North American LCS are taking down EU. Expect and Trick are running for their lives. Believe me, G2, this game is over.
41 minutes in, they get the initiation once again on Sven. Deficio, we talked a lot about what they should do. Well, they did it. They pulled off the initiation.
And that's why they're winning.
That's going to be the game.
The Nexus turrets are falling. His double lift hops forward, unkilled, untouched, and unthreatened. Team Solo Mid strike first in Rift Rivals 2017.
Gotta feel slightly satisfying for TSM. It's no MSI victory, but they still, as Deficio, as Quickshot said, strike first here at MSI. With the Galio, with double lift on a hyper carry, stalled out a little bit in the mid to late.